Goal by Diego. And of course, Brazil having been in fantastic form so far in this Olympics, beating New Zealand previously 5-0. So China actually doing quite well, being at only one behind by the half time. And I'm being joined here in the studio by Don Bosat. And Don, it could be a big goal fest here in the second half.
Could be. Brazil had many opportunities there in the first half, and actually just a little bit sloppy. I think they just were a little bit complacent with shooting at goal a few times there. One of the things that I find amazing, you think of Ronaldinho 4 years ago. He was a skinny little kid with a waist of about 28 inches. Now you look at him and he's starting to look like a real man, He's maybe like he's had one too many bowls of spaghetti, but still an amazing player, and it's just fantastic that he's here playing in the Olympics.
Yes, and I think this Olympics very important, of course, for Ronaldinho, having not such a good season just passed in Barcelona, and he really lost the interest to play soccer, or football as we call it in Europe. And I think it's a great move by Dunga to include him in this Olympics, because he really seems to have gotten the interest back and the motivation to play football again, and perhaps also losing a few pounds, as Don mentioned there, during this Olympics, and that would be good for him.
Well, the thing that everybody knows when they play professional sports is that if your enthusiasm is there, you can play for a long time at a much older age. But if you lose your enthusiasm, it doesn't make any difference if you're 18 or 19 years old. You're not going to play well, and of course in team sports your teammates won't want you on the field.
Absolutely, and I for one definitely strongly believe that Ronaldinho still have some good years left in him. He doesn't have any serious injuries, so there should be no reason why he should not be one of the top players to watch in the football world for at least a couple more years.
Well, and he's great to watch, too. People really enjoy the skills that he has on the field. But like you said, if he's lost his interest, then, of course, nobody will really enjoy having him out there. So it's really good to see that he's kind of come to life here in these Olympics.
And obviously here also a great opportunity for China. Here we have a substitution. It's Pato going out for Rafael. Of course, the Brazilian having the habit of having the player's surname, first name, correct me, on their shirts, very unlike, for instance, China. But a great opportunity for China to match themselves up against what is considered the best footballing country in the world. And of course, Brazil sure to proceed out of the group stages. And China playing for pride. And there a late tackle on Diego, but Don, I think he knew that was coming, and I'm not sure that he's really feeling the pain too much. But let's see the replay.
Well, that would be his toe. It certainly wouldn't be his ankle.
Yes, and a big smile there from number 12, Kui.
I really believe it'd be a great thing to do is do some slow motion replays to decide if people are really have a chance of being hurt or if they're just doing the big fake. So.
Well, Diego is back on the field, so both sides got all players on the field, and it's Brazil with the ball.
It's a nice pass up the field by Alessandro, but
yes, Diego there being screened off by the ball by Hahn. It's Kui with the shot, but it's well over the crossbar.
So much of the time in football, we've seen teams with superior talent and skills just get so complacent that they don't make the scores when they should, and they open up the chances for the other team to score a couple quick goals sometimes, which oftentimes will be the difference in a match.
Absolutely, and that's why I personally think that Brazil is going to press pretty hard to make sure they can at least get one more goal, because obviously only leading 1-0, not a whole lot in the game. Brazilians moving the ball around.
So Sinho just moving the ball around. That was Diego trying to get the cross in to number 17.
And it's a Brazil corner, and it looks like Ronaldinho going out to take the responsibility for the corner. And let's look for this. He's going to be whipping this one in with quite some pace. And he's signaling he's going to go high. No, he's going to go low. So that was a gimmick right there from Ronaldinho. It's punched out by the keeper. And that's Dong. And I think Dong, they're playing for the free kick. And Ilsinho, they're questioning whether if there really was a free kick there. But anyway, Dong did well getting a free kick here because he had no teammates to play.
Well, he fell a long time after he touched the back of his calf, but he did foul him. He didn't go for the ball there. So good defense there by Brazil to make him bring the ball back out. That's exactly what you were talking about, Kiki. They really opened up an opportunity there. There were two Chinese players with only one Brazilian there to stop them from having the header straight in.
The crowd cheering wildly for the Chinese side to equalize here.
Well, they caught Zhu for pushing away, but it didn't look like a whole lot in it.
Didn't look like a whole lot in it, but at the end of the day, it's Brazil with the ball. And we haven't really seen Ronaldinho yet having the ball here in the second half. China defending very deep here in home territory.
Oh, good defense. It looked like they were going to... Oh, and taken away. Good tackle by El Nino. And the crowd is going absolutely crazy.
And we have a counter going here, but does he have anybody to play in? I think that was a clean tackle right there. Possibly giving away a corner, has number 14 there, Breno. Breno, a big, strong lad at almost 6'2".
So Howe's taking the corner, number 7.
Well, the left foot kick right there with the outside of the boot that was far off the target, Joe. But worth taking the shot on. If he could have hit the target and maybe got a deflection, could have caused some trouble for the Brazilian goalkeeper.
Well, I agree, Kiki. I think that if they get a chance for a shot on goal, they need to take it, because nothing would be worse than finishing this match and realize you had hardly any shots on goal and didn't even give yourself a chance.
Absolutely, and I think to play through the pretty tight defense of Brazil is very difficult, so I think they're going to have to try to open them up with some long-range shots.
And Ronaldinho is just playing coy there, just outside the box. Just waiting for his opportunity to get the ball in.
And Ronaldinho there calling for a foul on him, but oh, nothing. That's a beautiful detail right there. And almost a free header. Let's see if we get a replay on that. Very nice dribbling skill there by the Brazilian.
And just watching Ronaldinho's movement down there, he doesn't look like he's in the best shape of his life. He's not making a lot of effort to really move around to get open or defend.
But China trying to get off their own half.
Oh, nice back heel.
That's too easy, and Ronaldinho steals that and sends up. Oh, and there's some shirt tucking there. Well, if we see that in slow motion, I think perhaps there should have been a free kick right there, but let's see it again. Number 17 there, Rafael, definitely thinks there's a free kick.
Well, it looked like a shirt stretched out pretty far there.
Well, unfortunately, we don't get to see that in slow motion. Brazil having the benefit, of course, of knowing they already qualified for the next stage of the tournament, and surely they don't want to have any of the key players injured or make themselves too tired, because getting to the next stage of the tournament is going to get progressively very, very tough, with the Italians very strong at the moment and Argentina also showing very strong form.
Over to Osinho. Oh, nice pass. That's to Diego. Diego tries to lift it over the goalie, but just too much.
Well, at the moment, the game pretty pedestrian. Not the fastest work rate by any of the sides. And just having a close look at that pitch, Don, it does look like it could be one of the artificial pitches too.
That looked like a handball, but...
Well, there was nothing given on the appeal. China really defending in big numbers. Got everybody behind the ball. And this shot here, the left foot, very far out and probably never really going to cause the goalkeeper any trouble. Thiago Neves. Not enough movement without the ball from the Chinese side. Having to play back. Well, taking no chances there in the Brazilian defense. I think he could have let that run. But anyway, it's a free throw for Chinese side.
I think Dong had them worried that time. That's the reason he kicked it out, because they saw him coming up pretty fast, and he didn't know if his goalie would be able to get to the ball before he did. That's Dong. Trying to open it up for the cross. So China will have a corner.
Yes, and that was Lucas there with the header to make sure that there was no Chinese head getting on it. And for a moment there, the Brazilian defense pretty uncomfortable. And the home crowd here would love to see a goal from China against this very famous side, the most famous soccer country in the world. And we have another corner.
Well, that was a nice ball in there by Howe. At least it gives him a chance.
Look out for Dong. Dong very strong in the air, and I'm sure the Brazilians are fully aware of the strength of Dong's aerial play.
Another very nice corner by Howe. And there was Dong. And that was actually Zhao in there that got a head on it. But see this, very nice. Definitely a chance. Zhao unable to control the header. That's a big advantage some of the European sides have. They have some of these really tall guys that can come in there and when they have the corners for the headers.
Yes, height definitely advantage, and we particularly see that when we have some of the countries with shorter players definitely being peppered by shots coming out from the corners, and when they make those crosses, it's very difficult for the short defenders to handle the guys once they are 6 feet something. Of course, one of the most famous tall players in the European League, Peter Crouch, who has just left Liverpool for Portsmouth, and he's then joining again his old coach.
So some miscues on the passes by both sides there. Brazil with the ball. And again, all the Chinese players are back. If Brazil can get an opening with all those red jerseys, it'd be almost a miracle right now. Okay, and they're coming in. Oh, just about a pass in.
Well, with only 30 minutes left of this game, you have to wonder if the Chinese coach continues to play so defensive. He's pretty much relying on a fast counter or a dead ball situation to turn around this game, and you have to wonder whether if he'll start to be a little bit more offensive in his formation.
Well, if he wants a draw or a win, he's going to have to do that for sure. He can't just depend on some fast break and all of a sudden opening up the court for a quick goal, because the speed of the Brazilians is pretty good. They will have a very hard time outrunning them down there.
That's another speculative long range effort there to play in his teammate Dong, but really that's not going to work. And very lonely there in the front for Dong.
Well, no lack of support here for the Chinese team. Man, this is great sound.
Well, again, China have got all the players back defending in their own half, and it's very hard for Brazil to find a way to weave a way through.
I don't think we've seen Ronaldinho even touch the ball but one time so far this second half. They just can't, like you said, they can't weave it into it.
There he is on the touch.
Oh, there's the opening.
Well, there was a free kick there. Let's see what happened. Well, number 5 there from China falling, and Lee there lucky to get a free kick. The Chinese skipper.
Yeah, very fortunate there. Because that was almost a sure goal for Brazil had not that been whistled dead.
Well, the Brazilian referee, they're having a clean run at goal, but at the end, a free kick to China, so no danger.
That was a huge push-off there by the Chinese player against Ronaldinho.
And of course, this man in the picture also fully aware that when he does have the ball done, the other team is really looking at getting to him and make a name for themselves. And I know that myself, you know, when you play against a big star player and he's got the ball, you really want to get to him and give him a good tackle and show the world that you can do something as well. So he's surely a target man for both sides.
Of course, if you don't make a name for yourself, you might become infamous rather than famous.
That happens as well.
Bring it out to Ilsinho. Ilsinho looking to the inside. Oh, Diego just missed. Back to China.
Well, it's so difficult for the Brazilians with China defending so great numbers. And this pitch, not one of the biggest pitches that we have seen. Obviously, soccer pitch is varying in sizes. And not giving the Brazilians enough space to open up the play.
So Ilsinho again out here on the right side. They seem to be able to open up the court a little bit. I mean, the pitch on the right side a little bit easier than on the left. Probably because they're marking. And I think that's natural turf because you can see the turf come up that time.
There's Dunga, the famous coach of the Brazilian side. Of course, Dunga also himself a world champion and a very good world champion indeed. A very solid player who had very much the spirit of the team on his shoulders when he played professionally.
Of course, Dunga had some famous teammates at that time.
Yeah, he had some half-decent teammates as well, I have to say that.
Well, that's not offside, but just a little bit too far. Well, I agree with you, Kiki. It's a little bit of a pedestrian pace out here.
Well, you're going to get this situation because Brazil is in no hurry since they already qualified for the continuation of the tournament. Here, a chance for Brazil, and that must be a free kick right on the edge of the box. And he's asking for a card, and he's getting it.
Well, he definitely got pulled down.
And you have to, let's see this again, because if Hahn was the last defender, actually that should be a red card. And I think maybe Hahn there getting off pretty cheaply.
Wow, he pulled him straight down. And you're right, it should have been a red card because it was the last defender. I think they're probably laughing about it, the fact that he's still on the pitch.
Well, he got off very cheaply, and not only that, with the free kicks this close to the box, actually it's more difficult than if you have a little bit more distance because it's very hard to get the ball up and down over the wall. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw here potentially the Brazilians trying to go through the wall because it's very difficult to get it up and down that quickly.
Well, when Ronaldinho was in shape, we've seen him curve that ball a lot. Look at that. That was Thiago Nunes.
Yes, and everybody, I think, was waiting for Ronaldinho's right foot, and Thiago just stepping up there and with his left foot just curling it away from the goalkeeper, and what a goal. And the goalie never moved.
Well, I don't think he could see it because the way the wall was formed, he was absolutely blindsided. Look at this. Just take one step and kick.
The goalkeeper absolutely stunned. And this is why millions of people love to watch Brazilians play football, because they have this skill.
And that's one of the advantages of having somebody like Ronaldinho on the pitch. He didn't even touch the ball, yet he was a huge factor.
He was a big factor because everybody was waiting for him to shoot. And instead of Thiago steal the moment and made a beautiful left foot curler. So let's see now if China gets a little bit more positive in the play. Surely they will lose this game now, but at least you should take the game to the Brazilians.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot more aggressive play by Dong, and he might get a little bit of help down there. Well, that's China's throwing that number 11 there. He was actually brought down by his own man.
Yes, he was tackled by his own man, so Brazilians not making it easier for themselves, but anyway, they're leading 2-0.
Now here comes the Brazilians. They don't have as many defenders back. They might be able to get it through, but they decide to bring it back. Diego into Ronaldinho. And he's got such quick feet. Most people would have had that ball taken away from them.
And he is so good at protecting the ball. Very hard to take it away from him. And here's a good ball out on the left flank. Ronaldinho again. Marcelo trying to see if he can find a space for the cross. It's Ronaldinho again. Marcelo was released and, well, if not a free kick, at least a free throw. And we have a substitution here for China. 17, Dong is going out. Dong is taken out, and instead we have number 9, Gao Lin coming in. So Dong, the star of the Chinese team, who plays for Manchester United in England, is taken out here. And he's getting a big hand when he leaves the pitch.
thing I like about Ronaldinho's play that I see is the fact he's got very good peripheral vision. He can be looking one direction and see the entire field off to one side. He can play that way without even looking that direction.
Well, it's funny you say that, Don, because he is one of the few players that actually make a lot of no-look passes, something that you normally only see in handball and basketball, but he actually has, if you've seen him play, made many no-look passes that has resulted in goals.
Another chance for Brazil. Decides to hold it up.
Lots of space here. Oh, and it's 3-0 for Brazil. And suddenly it's going very quickly, and we could get a rout here if China's not careful. Was it Thiago Neves again? It was definitely a left foot shot. Let's see it in the slow motion.
They had about 5 quick passes that opened him up, and I thought for sure he was going to pass it out to the side to Ronaldinho, but just when he thought that, you're right, it was Thiago Neves.
Well, he had the space to play Ronaldinho here, but he goes with his left foot and he beats the keeper again. Well, you saw that shot. He absolutely hammered, and it just took off when he hit the ground. So keeper really didn't have a chance.
That's right, and Howe was pulled out a little bit to the side, trying to cover Ronaldinho, and as soon as he was, the slot was open for Thiago to score the goal. And now we can see why the Chinese side were so many men back on defense.
Yes, it was obvious China was afraid of getting routed like New Zealand, but now they're going to have to score a goal if they want to make this score look better. And sometimes very difficult to change from a very defensive mindset to become more offensive. Much easier to go the other way.
Well, this is the type of football Brazil likes to play. They like to get the field spread out, lots of open space for them to show their skills.
Yes, and of course also with the Chinese becoming more aggressive and moving the ball faster, it's going to play right into the hands of the Brazilians.
So number 13 is coming in for China. That's Shen. Replacing number 7, that's Howe.
So we have a midfielder replacing a midfielder. Well, after a pretty pedestrian affair, suddenly we have 2 quick goals in succession from Brazil. And it's 3-0 for Brazil against China. And we have about 15 minutes left.
To Ronaldinho, nice pass. Pass back to Ronaldinho, but not quite enough. They're kind of playing with him right now.
Yes, and Marcelo and Ronaldinho enjoying some good cooperation there on the left-hand side. And you see after Ronaldinho starting to move out a little bit onto the left flank, he's getting some more possession of the ball. And here, a very dangerous situation. Oh, just wide of the goal. Couldn't quite get to the position where he wanted to get. But Diego there with a good effort, and Diego already 1 goal so far in this match.
He just slightly tripped. If he hadn't have tripped, he would have been in really good position for that kick.
And it looks like the Brazilian side is now playing with more purpose, and they look like a side that wants more goals.
Yeah, I think they're enjoying demonstrating their skills.
And playing that way, Don, is going to be very difficult to break down the Brazilian defense with long balls. Brazilians, of course, also not only being great ball players, but also being fantastic athletes. Something that we sometimes perhaps don't focus enough on is the fact that they are really super athletes.
I agree with that. They, when they take off into a sprint, I don't see very many people actually being able to run away from them. And I've seen them run down many breaks that looks like the opponents are going to be able to score a goal, and they run them down and are able to defend. Oh, that's a nice pass.
And that's again Ronaldinho and Marcelo that's causing the Chinese side a lot of problems now on the Chinese right flank, and for the Brazilians left side. Marcelo there really having a good time now together with Ronaldinho, and they're having a little bit of a showpiece going on at the moment.
I just marvel at their footwork and the things they do with the ball. Oh, that's a nice pass. Ronaldinho will get to it. And of course, the crowd is going crazy because it was a nice tackle, but not really that difficult of a tackle considering the position Ronaldinho was in.
Great work there from Marcelo, but he can't find a way through the sea of red shirts, really. And they're now double manning Marcelo and Ronaldinho out there. And I think you're right, Dan. Down there, Ronaldinho looks like he is carrying maybe 1 or 2 pounds too many.
I think you're being generous. They probably had to upsize his shorts for sure.
But of course, the Brazilian footballers, famously known for living life to the fullest. One of the most famous scorers of all time, Romario, very famously known for on match day going out afterwards and dance the whole night away, and then skipping training next day. And he, of course, has gone on to scoring more than 1,000 goals, returning back to Brazil to play minor league football, and have claimed now that he has scored over 1,000 goals, but then later on getting caught up in some drug issues.
Well, that's a nice heel by Ronaldinho. He's so good, like you said, no-look passes.
Yeah, he's so easy on the ball, and he has that skill. Look at that again. Well, I mean, you see, even his teammate was not ready for that one. I mean, he turned that one so fast that number 17 there, Rafael, was not ready for that.
Well, we've got about 9 minutes to full time, and there has been hardly any stoppage in the second half. So that may be full time. Boy, look at the pitch is just coming apart.
We have a blow here for offside. Let's see it in replay. Rafael doesn't agree, but let's see if we get in slow motion. We have a double substitution here for Brazil.
18 for 15. That's Diego that's coming off. And Ilsenio, number 13, is coming off.
So they're keeping Ronaldinho in there, so he's probably getting a little bit of extra exercise by Donga.
They probably told him they're not going to take him out until he loses that extra 10 pounds or whatever it is. So Ilsinho is out, Diego's out, and number 2 is in for Brazil. And that's Rafinha. And number 18 is Joe.
Ronaldinho.
What was the call there?
Well, I'm not quite sure what happened there. I didn't see anybody contest the ball. It was something about Ronaldinho yelling something out, and the referee decided there was a foul.
Maybe he's learned some Mandarin.
A long-range effort, perhaps?
Well, that was a strange pass. Number 15, the Chinese Jiang, he wasn't even looking. He wasn't even aware the ball was hitting his direction.
Marcelo got an opening here. Back to Ronaldinho. And at the end, it's taken away from him. He tried a little bit of showboating right there. Couldn't quite control the ball at first.
Well, he was in a lot of traffic. There were 3 red shirts all around him the whole time. So Brazil controlling the ball. And there's our man, Diego. Back out to Marcelo. They better not let him get it left. Oh, that's not Diego. I thought that was Diego.
Kui with the ball. And that's good defensive play there. Lucas there cleaning up, and Ronaldinho now with the ball. He's taking on defense.
Even though the crowd is really pro-Chinese team, I think they would love to see Ronaldinho score a goal. I think they would go absolutely berserk.
Yes, and I think the Brazilian team is trying to tee up Ronaldinho to score, because they're really trying to play the ball towards him when they get near the box.
Now the Marcelo and Ronaldinho show beginning again.
So we have just about 4 minutes left here of normal time, and as Don said, we may not have any added time. And at this stage, perhaps China happy if they could just hold this 3-0 to the end. 3-0 being a pretty respectable score here against a very strong Brazilian side.
Well, the people that really know football said that they believe that Argentina will be almost impossible to beat in this tournament. But if Brazil can play as a team and a cohesive unit with the skill they have, I can't see that it's a foregone conclusion.
I agree with you. And Brazil this time around, obviously having taken a couple of very experienced players with them. Anderson from Manchester United shoring up the defense when they choose to play him. Brazil is going to be very hard to crack in the defensive side of it. And of course, a lot of firepower at the front, as we have seen. And I think having chosen Anderson for the defense, Brazil has kind of made a similar move as what Argentina did in Athens, having Colaccini showing up their defense, but he is not playing this year for Argentina.
Oh, chance for Brazil here inside the box. That was very close. If that could just curl down a little bit, it might have been able to sneak into the far corner.
Well, that would have been a famous goal there for number 6 from China Chu, who normally plays his football for Shandong.
Well, it wasn't that far off.
Ronaldinho with the long pass. And a good run here. And is that another free kick?
It's Joe, and yes, it is.
I would be very surprised here if there's no free kick given.
Well, no score. Still 3-0. So was it offsides, or was it because he pulled?
I think the referee decided to let play go on, and as he didn't score, there was no goal, of course. But I really thought that was a free kick there. Anyway, it's 3-0 for Brazil, and we are coming down to the last minute.
So Jiang was pulled down. Chinese ball. We have 1 minute left in regulation time.
And that did look like a late tackle there from Lucas, and he's going to be lucky if he doesn't get a card for this. Pretty much unnecessary at this stage in the game. He might have hit Jiang there in the Achilles heel.
Yeah, that would be the only place. It certainly wasn't the front of his ankle.
Well, of course, the Achilles heel being the weakest point, and very painful if you get hit right there. Let's see it here again.
Yeah, it looked like he got hit in the heel for sure.
So we are probably going to get a little bit of injury time here.
Probably a minute now to make up for that minute. Three minutes.
So there's something happened there that we didn't see done.
Well, if Brazil scores again, they won't be happy that they got the extra 3 minutes tagged on.
So Brazil going through the group stages undefeated.
Nice pass. Will he be able to bring it in?
Rafael with the ball. Rafael. And he's attacked very aggressively there, and I think he wins the free kick. Pretty much run over.
Yeah, he was actually tripped up. That wasn't a fall that time. So this time maybe Ronaldinho will take the kick. You never know. Oh, and that was a great stop by the goalie.
Yes, Ronaldinho almost beating Lou there.
This was going to curl in.
Ronaldinho again with the ball. He's having a good time out there. Long range shot.
I thought Diego was going to try to go it alone to try to get another left foot shot into the goal there, but elected to pass out.
So we should be in our last minute now. 3-0 for Brazil.
That was fairly aggressive goal chance by Rafael. But if we compare the shots on goal by both teams, it's been heavily in favor of Brazil.
Certainly has, and I think we're running out the clock now. Probably the last opportunity here for China to make something. And there we have the last whistle, and it's 3-0 to Brazil against China. 2 goals by this player, Thiago Neves, and 1 by Diego.
Well, Kiki, I really agree with you. It looks like Ronaldinho's having some fun out there playing, you know, and that's great to see.
That is great to see, and he's got a big smile on, and everybody's happy.
So there's a score line, Brazil 3, China 0, and you can see it was a packed stadium. A match obviously enjoyed by absolutely everybody there, in spite of the fact that China was unable to score. We can see the scores were Diego in the 18th minute, and then we saw there's 2 goals in the second half by Diego. Well, with lots of action here on the pitch, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with more action from